Thanks, guys, for joining us. I hope you can hear us loud and clear. Thanks so much, Are, for the job well done. And guys, those of you who are watching us from Facebook, you kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel because we suspected we might have problem with YouTube. Sorry, Facebook. Forgive my. So yeah, while we were preparing for today's lecture on sexual politics, day 3, and then I've titled this the 38th parallel. It's very important for the Yoruba women to understand this. But let me say one thing very briefly to the Yoruba women. Why is Yoruba land ravaged by poverty? Look, we can no longer pretend about the rate of prostitution going on in Yoruba land. In England, some few months ago, before the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic, the government wanted to change the welfare benefit system. They've introduced the universal credit and then to some borrow. So they wanted to implement it across the whole of England. But this was actually affecting a lot of people, particularly the women. And I was watching TV and I saw an elected MP. These are like people in our House of Representatives at Abuja and the senators. One of the MP stood up and said to his colleague that because of the new policy of the universal credit, that the people in his constituency, particularly women, have already taken to prostitution because the money is not sufficient for them. And this is in a society where they have welfare system. People think that the United States of America and then the United Kingdom are capitalist country. But these two countries actually practice welfare system in which poor people are provided social safety net. Now, if England, who a country that practices a welfare system, an MP could complain about prostitution. Now you can imagine the level of prostitution that is going on to our women across Yoruba land. I keep saying to you, when I was in university, we call our colleagues, our peers, classmates who were involved in prostitution, we call them aristo. Now they call them olosho. Some are even called slave queens. And the majority of our women in Yoruba land, I'm telling you, majority, even married women, are involved in prostitution, folks. I'm telling you, why is it that this is going on? I have an answer for you. Yoruba land is ravaged by poverty because exactly 54 years today, May 24, 1966, a man by the name Aguyu Irose, 54 years ago, suspended the regional system of government today. We have shared his speech, and he titled that speech 54 years ago exactly. He's an Igbo man. The Igbo destroy Nigeria. Forget about the noise they make about Biafra. It's all fraud. It's all propaganda to keep the unity system. Agi Rossi titled his speech, "The Regions Are Abolished." He broadcasted this to the nation. He banned all political parties and introduced Decree number 34 on the 24th of May, 1966. Let me give you a very few things about what he said, so that you will appreciate Yoruba women, that you are poor, you are miserable, you've turned to prostitution because of the action of one man. And I will promise you one thing, that it has taken the action of one man. And I'll give that credit to myself to help to change the course of history. The young Yoruba for freedom would take Yoruba land out of Nigeria. We are the only generation, apart from our grandparent generation and our parent generation, that believes in organized violence. And we are going to go to war because we want to protect Yoruba women. We want to protect our mothers, our sisters, our aunties, our wives, our daughters, and our nieces. We want to protect them all. It is because of you that we are going to go to war. And unfortunately, people are going to die. That is it. But we will win, and we will give you back your land that has been occupied since Igbo suspended regional government 54 years ago, exactly today, 24th of May, 1966. This is what Aguirre said. And I will link this to sexual politics. He said, "Fellow Nigerians," I'm not going to read all. "During the past 2 weeks, I presided over meetings of the Supreme Military Council and the Central Executive Council, at which many important state matters were considered. It is now 3 months since the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was handed over to the armed forces." That was the first lie. The Igbo killed the Yoruba sitting prime minister, Ladoke Akintola. They killed Ademolegun, the most senior Yoruba military officer. Ademolegun's wife was heavily pregnant, 8 months pregnant. The Igbo shot and killed that woman. They killed Colonel Shodainde, another senior Yoruba military. They took hostage the father of Femi Fani-Kayode, who was the deputy prime minister of Yoruba land at that time. They killed a lot of Hausa Fulani leaders, including Tafawa Balewa and Ahmadu Bello, and their most senior military officers. So the federal government of Nigeria was never handed over to the Igbo military officer. Aguirre Rossi lied here. But let us continue, because this statement he made 54 years ago is why all Yoruba women are involved in prostitution. Almost all of them are poor, miserable, wretched, because of this singular act of the Igbo. Igbo destroyed Nigeria. Aguirre Rossi went on. He said, "Now that peace has been restored in the troubled areas, it is time that the military government indicates clearly what it proposes to accomplish before relinquish power. The removal of one of the obstacles on the way is provided for in the Constitution. Suspension and modification is actually suspended the Constitution. Decree number 5, 1966, which was promulgated by me today and comes into effect at once. That decree number 5 suspended the regional constitution and the federal constitution. But I'll give you the one that is most important. He said, "I will say that the highlights of the decree are as follows," because I don't want to read everything the horrible man stated. He said, former regions are abolished and Nigeria grouped into a number of territorial areas called prophecies. He was the first person that created the shit state you have. It destroyed the regional government, Igbo. Their only one intention is this. Whenever they come to Yoruba land, well developed, because we were managing our own space. We have our own elected prime minister. Awolowo was the first. Akintola was the second. Majakodumi was the third. Then Akintola came back. And he came back again, Akintola. Whenever the Igbo comes to our space, they don't have right to live in our space because we are practicing regional government. They can develop their homes. When they come to Yoruba land, they are visitors. They can't have right to claim the same right over jobs, the same right over employment or educational facilities. And when they come into our space, they see everything well planned out. They could not do the same. So they wanted to control us. They used the military might and killed all our political leaders and took over our government. Exactly 54 years ago today. That's why all of you Yoruba women, you are miserable. It is not Satan the devil. It has no spiritual problem. It is the evil who destroy your life. So they suspended regional government. He said, Nigeria ceased to be what has been described as a federation. Nigeria has always been federation. He said, Nigeria ceased to be a federation. It now becomes simply the Republic of Nigeria. He said the former federal military government and the Central Executive Council become respectively the national military government and the Executive Council. All the military governors are members of the Executive Council. He put Igbo there. They were so bold, these criminals that you see today. Every time they condemn Fulani people, every time they tell you the problem of Nigeria is Fulani, no, the problem of Nigeria is the Igbo. They destroy regional government. We just released a statement earlier this morning about the conversation between an Igbo man and a Yoruba man. Igbo don't want a return back to regional government. That's what you are going to get. Believe me, Igbo. You will get a return back to regional government. You will never get Biafra because Biafra is a fraud. You can't force Edo people, Urobo people, Ijo people, Efik Ibibio people to be part of your shit Biafra. Horrible people. Their clear intentions since 1946, after the demise of Olayinka Abat Macaulay, was to enslave the Yoruba people. It has been the goal of the Igbo. They are using three strategies to infiltrate Yoruba land through intermarriages, to populate by having sex with our women and spread their seed so that they can dominate us. It has always been their goal. My generation is going to end it. And we're going to kill a lot of them. We've been very confrontational. We've been very clear with our statement. No nation on this planet Earth will fold its hands for another nation to suppress and subjugate such a nation, for another nation to occupy its space. That was why the English 75 years ago went to war with the Germans. They both have white skin. We're going to kill Igbo in Yoruba land. You'll see. They've done a lot of damage to us. There is so many things that were said here in this speech. They are long. And I will just move. I spoke about decree number 5 that suspended the regional system, the regional constitution, and the constitution. There's another one, the unification decree number 34 of 1966. I will not bore you down because that is not the essence of why we're here today. There are 2 decrees that he spoke about, the Igbo criminals who lied to you. Yeah. They are always telling you lies because all they do with their hypo is pure propaganda. They blame everything on the Fulani. We've had 11 federal elections. That means that we have elected the leader of Nigeria 11 times. Igbo people voted for Fulani 9 times. On 2 occasions, they did not vote for Fulani. because Jonathan was the sitting president. And these are the people that will open their mouth and say Fulani is the problem because Fulani control the presidency. Who put Fulani there? They are the people. We voted for Fulani, we Yoruba, twice, 2015 and 2019, because Jonathan, the horrible man that we put in government in 2011, he was hobnobbing with the Igbo and the Fulani at the detriment of the Yoruba nation. They voted Fulani 9 times. So under decree number 34, he called it the Unification Decree. And I will just say this to you. They're long, folks. We'll just, as by the appointment day, the federal government and the executive council shall, known respectively as the Federal Military Council, the territory shall be known as the capital. The prophecies he was just saying, so the summary of that is very long. The summary of his speech, we have circulated them, the speech, which he gave 54 years ago. They suspended regional government, they suspended parliamentary system, they suspended everything. They unified Nigeria as a unitary system. It was Igbo who introduced the concept of one Nigeria. These criminals will tell you that the amalgamation of Nigeria is the problem. The amalgamation of Nigeria was never the problem. When the English colonial tour left Nigeria, they gave us a beautiful system which they are practicing in their own country. United Kingdom is made up of 4 nations: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. It's the same system they gave to us in Nigeria. The Igbo destroyed that system. They destroyed the regional system and introduced this unitary system. What they wanted to do, they wanted to use guns to control everybody. But the Fulani stood up to the test of time. So you can't blame Fulani all of the time. Fulani leaders were killed. Ahmadu Bello, their prime minister for the north, and Tafawa Balewa, the prime minister of Nigeria, they were killed by Igbo. What did the Fulani do? What did they do, folks? The Fulani organized themselves, get guns, and attack the Igbo back 6 months later. They killed this stupid man, Aguiyi Ironsi. They killed all Igbo in the north, and they took power at the center. Since 1966, Fulani has refused to give up power. They are scared, because if they give up power, Igbo could come again and kill their leaders. Why was it easy for Fulani and Hausa Fulani to be able to come together after their leaders were killed? Why? Because they have reduced intermarriages. We're going to challenge people. Thank you so much, Are, for the link. You're going to link. We're going to challenge Yoruba leaders. List 100 Hausa Fulani leaders. 100. Out of 100, we've done the research. Only one is married to non-Fulani. 1 out of 100. Go and list out the top 100 Yoruba political leaders. You will recognize that about 30 of them are married to Igbo. Because Fulani and Hausa have reduced intermarriages, they group up together, confronted the Igbo, massacred them in the north, killed the Igbo leaders, Aguiyi Ironsi, and Hausa Fulani took government since 1966 because they have reduced intermarriages. What happened to the shit Yoruba of that generation? What happened to them? Because we have high rate of intermarriages, our leaders were killed. Our sitting prime minister, Ladoke Akintola, the first modern Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, he was killed by the Igbo. The most senior military officer, Ademolegun, he was killed. His wife was 8 months pregnant. You know, women, you should think about this. His wife was 8 months pregnant. The Igbo shot and killed that woman and that child. So horrible Yoruba women, you continue to open your legs for Igbo men. It is because it's not religious differences. Don't let anybody bullshit you because we challenge them. Name just one Fulani woman popular Fulani woman, not just ordinary Fulani woman, a popular Fulani woman who is married to an Igbo man. None. Some stupid Yoruba Libra, they say because of religious differences, because Fulani are Muslim. Are you telling me there are no Fulani Christians? They say because of religious differences, that is why Igbo don't marry Fulani women. It's a lie. It is because Fulani have sense of self-preservation, which you stupid Yoruba, you don't have. Horrible Yoruba people. People who kill your own leaders. They kill a pregnant woman. It is this same shit, horrible evil that you open your legs for to father your children. You will pay for that stupidity that you've done. It is the reason why Fulani women and Hausa don't marry Igbo men. 54 years ago today, Igbo destroyed Nigeria completely. So the poverty, the corruption, the miserable life that we are all experiencing in Nigeria, Igbo brought it about. That was why Awolowo conceived Naira and Kobo. The meaning of Naira is never allow Igbo rule again. That is the meaning of Naira, the currency. You think Awolowo was foolish. Awolowo said that after his death, his grandchildren will fight against the unitary system. We are Awolowo's grandchildren. Are we not the ones speaking up boldly that we're going to go to war? We're going to kill people in Yoruba land. We will go to war because of this unification that Igbo brought upon us. We have had 3 national conferences. At Abacha National Conference, Igbo rejected a return to regional government. At Obasanjo National Conference, Igbo rejected a return to regional government. At Jonathan National Conference, Igbo rejected a return to regional government because they are horrible people. They lack the human capital to govern. They will never rule in Nigeria. We will rule them. They destroyed that beautiful country. So it is not anything to do with amalgamation that Nigeria is the way it is. It is the unitary system that the Igbo introduced 54 years ago. They centralized the institution in Nigeria. They centralized the wealth distribution. That's why Yoruba land is poor. That's why your girlfriend, she's sleeping with another man. That is it. I keep racking my brain. Many of these girls that when I was in university, many of the girls that we call Aristo, we know them to be sleeping with different men to pay their school fees, to pay for their housing, to buy books. They are now mothers today. What kind of children are they going to produce? Are they bold enough to say to their children when they were in university, they were sleeping with different men? But I thought about this. We can't blame them any longer. It is the unitary system that destroyed their lives. Ordinary student loan, they don't have. Why is it that students in America, students in England are not doing Aristo, are not doing prostitution in university to pay their ways through school? Because they have access to student loan. So these of my classmate and your classmate who will now cause slave queen now, we can't blame them. We have to fight and change the system. It is because of the unitary system that they don't have access to ordinary student loan. Imagine if a girl or a lady in university has access to 4 million naira to pay her tuition, to pay for her accommodation, to pay for her books, to pay for her feeding for 4 years. Do you think that such a lady will open her leg to these criminal evils and stupid Fulani who are ravaging her women? Do you think they will do that? They will never do that. But because of this unitary system, this is what your women are doing in Yoruba land, and we put them in our house as our wife. Igbo will laugh at us. Fulani will laugh at us. People, they have ravaged their body. But we are going to take care of them now. It is not their fault. It is the fault of the generation before us who refused to go to war when this horrible Igbo suspended regional government. It is because we have unity system. That is why we are facing the hell of problem we're facing. Fulani women will never open their legs for Igbo men to sleep with them because they remember what the Igbo did to their leaders. They remember Ahmadu Bello was shot and killed. They remember Ahmadu Bello shot and killed. But stupid Yoruba women, they can't even remember Ademule Egun's wife, a woman with an 8-month-old pregnancy shot by Igbo. This woman has nothing to do with the running of Nigeria government. Her husband, Ademulegun, was just a senior military officer. People shot and killed her. And it is these people that are fathering your own child. Your children are going to be discriminated against the Yoruba land. You Yoruba women married to this horrible, criminally minded Igbo men. That currency you spending, you think I will all conceive that for fun? I'm asking Yoruba women, Naira that you spend, the name of your currency is Naira Kobo. The Naira simply means never allow Igbo rule again. I will all conceive that. And you are going, opening your legs for these criminals who kill your people. It is because of the atrocity of the Igbo against Fulani leaders that the Fulani women do not open their legs for them. You cannot. It's a challenge. I speak in the public. Thousands of people are watching my video. Nobody has challenged me on all the statements that I'm making. Name one Fulani woman who is married to an Igbo man. You cannot find a popular Fulani woman. Fulani were able to attack and revenge against the killings of their leaders because they have reduced intermarriages. Yoruba could not revenge against the Igbo, even when Igbo killed their sitting prime minister, when Igbo killed all their military top guns who were Yoruba. Yoruba did not revenge because we have high rate of intermarriages. And I'm going to be speaking on personal and national interests later in this speech. And when I was writing about this, I recollect political philosophy of Plato when he spoke about the ideal model. And I will say, and I'm not going to bore you because I understand only 1% Yoruba have common sense. The 99% are horrible. That's why Yoruba land is an illiterate society. A Yoruba man with PhD will sell his property, come to England to wash toilet for English, whereas Fulani are controlling his port. He doesn't want to go to war so that he can fight, take his port, and hand it over to his own children. But he wants to go to England. He wants to come here to come and wash toilet for English with his PhD. He wants to travel to America to go and drive Kabu Kabu. The stupid man cannot confront the Igbo and Fulani who are suppressing him. I challenge you now, Yoruba women, horrible Yoruba women sleeping with Igbo men. I challenge you. Name one Fulani woman that is married to an Igbo man. It's very rare. Only cheap and irresponsible Yoruba women open their legs for Igbo men. You have no sense of history. People who kill your people. Yesterday we were talking about how they describe your food. They call you a femanu. You go into the market in Yoruba land, they hit you in your breast. You cannot speak up. They touch your bum in your own homeland. They dehumanize you. And these are the people you open your legs to. So, folks, it is not religious differences why Igbo are not married to Fulani women. No, Fulani women have sense of history. Fulani women have sense of self-preservation. There are Fulani women who are Christians. It is not all Fulani that are Muslims. Don't let anybody bullshit you. So those of you who are Yoruba liberals saying Igbo don't marry Fulani and Hausa women because of religious differences. Yeah, we have ethnic differences. Why won't we consider that as an issue too? If you can consider religious differences as an issue as to the reason why Igbo are not married to Fulani women, why not ethnic differences? If Igbo man is speaking now, I cannot hear a word of it because I'm not Igbo. I'm Yoruba. We don't have the same culture. We don't have the same norms and value system. We don't have the same language. That's our differences. Horrible Yoruba who are in Redeemed Christian Church of God, who are in winners chapels and other shit Pentecostal churches are the people that are causing this trouble. It is you that will suffer the consequences of what you are going to expose your children to. Your children are going to face discrimination. We will be pushing for the children of Emeka Anyaoku, who is married. Folks, what is going on? Are we being shut down? So, guys, you're watching me. You are not loving and liking this. People are flagging us heavily on YouTube. You get this. I don't know how you do it. I want you to do your things. How you do it. They don't like the truth. We're speaking the truth. So, Fulani are not your number one fucking problem. It is the Igbo. We take the presidency, we deal with Fulani. Because when we take the presidency, we're going to decentralize the military, decentralize the police. If you talk about decentralized to an average English, he doesn't understand. In their home country, they understand devolve political power. You devolve power to control police to the region. You devolve power to manage the military to the region. The English, the Scottish, the Welsh, they are practicing all of this in their own space. So can they love and lie because Igbo don't want the truth? They are criminals. So it's a shame that their women are very quiet when we're talking about sexual politics. Yeah, women, they understand the game very well that the Igbo are playing, that they are using intermarriages to infiltrate into Yoruba land, to populate their own children in our space so that they can dominate us. We're going to destroy Yoruba women who are married to Igbo men. Believe you me, because you are going to cry by the time we discriminate against your child. Your child is Emeka Ojuku because his father is Igbo. So you want such a child to have a better prospect than a man named Adeyinka Awolowo. Really? Is that going to be a possibility? In Yoruba land, your children are going to face discrimination. So you see, folks, to move on, because I understand that these people are flagging us heavily. The Yoruba Pentecostal Christians who are saying that, oh, the Igbo are not married to Hausa Fulani because of religious differences. You are crazy. What about ethnic differences? The Fulani women are very proud women. They are proud people. They want to safeguard their own civilization, so they marry within their own nation. They marry within their own ethnicity. It is stupid Yoruba women, cheap and useless Yoruba women who are opening their legs for people who kill their leaders. For horrible people. Fulani women understand self-preservation. Yoruba women don't understand self-preservation. That is why abroad, majority of them, they cause trouble for their husband. The moment they left Yoruba land, they become into something terrible because they lack sense of self-preservation because of high rate of intermarriages. The research says variation, genetic variations among the three major ethnic groups in Nigeria. The conclusion is fantastic. Hausa Fulani are able to achieve their aims and objectives in Nigeria because they have reduced intermarriages. The Yoruba are suffering, they are attacking each other, they are antagonizing each other, they are even killing each other because of high rate of intermarriages. So if you are a government in power, you will formulate policy that reduces intermarriages in Yoruba, and that is what we are going to do. We will severe relationship with Igbo on all counts. They are the people who destroy you, Yoruba women. I challenge people to this. I told you the names of Yoruba political leaders, military leaders that were killed by Igbo. Name one Igbo leader, military or political, that was killed by Yoruba. None. Also, Fulani have also killed Yoruba political leaders and military leaders before. But we Yoruba, we've never done such. But my generation will revenge. We will do that to Igbo and Hausa Fulani for killing our leaders in the past. We are the generation that will take revenge for all the atrocity that has been done against the Yoruba nation. Igbo men kill many of the Yoruba political and military leaders. They kill a lot of them. It is a disgrace that some cheap and useless Yoruba women opened their legs to Igbo men and even got married to them. You are horrible. Stupid people, they tell you, oh, you can choose love, idiots. Before you get married, you marry somebody that respects you. Love can fade. You marry somebody that respects you. You marry somebody that understands you before love. It is trust, love, and understanding. Trust first. Somebody who trusts you. Igbo hate Yoruba. How do you expect an Igbo man to trust a Yoruba woman? How do you expect an Igbo man to understand a Yoruba woman when he says that your food is ofema? Somebody who doesn't trust you can never understand you. He will never love you. Trust, love, and trust, understanding and love. But you say that, can you marry somebody who doesn't respect your parents? Can you marry somebody who doesn't respect your siblings? Idiot woman. Igbo hates you, so why will you go and marry them? Why? You're stupid. In our culture as Yoruba people, when a man marries a woman, he marries his entire family. When a woman marries a man, she marries his entire family. And likewise, men too. So, somebody who doesn't respect your people, how can you go and be opening your legs for such individual? People are animals. They're trooping into your space. Their homeland is erosion, rather terrible, because they lack human intelligence. They cannot grow the economy of their space. They come to Yoruba land, abuse your Oba, abuse your political leaders, talk shit at you, and you say, I love them. You can never love a man who doesn't trust you. You can never love a man who doesn't understand you. Trust comes first, then understanding, then you can love such an individual. A woman has once told me before that when I'm speaking, it's different from when I'm at home. I'm very loving, very kind, very considerate. And then she was surprised when I said to her that I'm going to hire you as one of the administrators to help us to manage our YouTube, but I need to take approval from my colleagues in YYL. She was shocked. She said, in spite of the fact that I'm Aries, that Aries like to lead, that she expected me to just make this decision on my own. I said, I can't make decision on my own. I work within a team. You guys just see my face. The people doing the research. In fact, since they arrested me for terrorism, I've not been conducting research. I just dictate, or sorry, delegate rather. But I will have to read the findings and I will have to make adjustment. You see, I work with a team. But what we're saying about love, you don't just fall in love with a man or a woman who you don't understand, somebody you don't trust. You are crazy. That's why marriages are crashing all over the place. But I'm not a good marriage counselor, but I do not support divorce, by the way. It happens to me, but I do not support it because it affects the children the most. Not the people involved, not the adults, it's the children. But in the situation with the Yoruba women married to Igbo men, they have married to their haters. And it will be advisable for them to get out of that relationship. You cannot be married to somebody who doesn't respect your family. Igbo people do not respect Yoruba. Why would you go and marry to them? They will never respect you. People who have deep-seated hatred for your own people. You say, love, you think, I'm going to talk about personal relationship and national interest. You see. So to the stupid Yoruba women married to the criminally minded Igbo men, Nigeria is heading towards the Korean resolution. You don't know, but you do know now. Thank you so much, guys, for loving and liking this. Let me tell you about the Korean resolution to the Yoruba women who open their legs for Igbo men. You will suffer the consequences of your stupid action. There's no contest about that. You suffer it. Now, I was talking before I suspected that they shut us down. We are going to push a lot of policy ideas out towards 2023. The children of Emeka and Yao, we're going to push them out to go and contest for election in Igbo land. Any known Igbo man or woman with a Yoruba mothers, they are going to be our ajele. We are going to send them to Igbo land to go and contest election and be your governor. And we dare you not to vote for them. After all, their fathers are Igbo. Only their mother are Yoruba. If you reject them, you face a lot of challenges in Yoruba land. They will be your governors. A lot of you Igbo are trooping into our space. You are not Yoruba. Some of you are half Yoruba, half Igbo. You're already in government, in our parliament. We gave example yesterday. 6 Igbos are in Ondo State House of Assembly. 6. Is that not ridiculous? So from 2023, your governors are going to be Yoruba governors whose mothers are Yoruba. We dare you to reject them. You will see how you're going to face hell. Maybe you are rejecting Al-Majiri coming to your space. The federal government, federal government worship my videos. We're asking federal government to take all the Al-Majiri in the north and dump them in Igbo land. After all, you are already occupying Yoruba land. So some people will have to replace your shit houses in your own space. Because you want to dominate us. You want to suppress the Yoruba. You are trooping into our space. You rape our women. You said you are spreading your seed. So to the Yoruba women, let me teach you about this Korean resolution. In the summer of 1945, as the Second World War was climaxing, the Japanese hold on its colony, Korea, began to collapse. Where you call South Korea and North Korea today were actually the colony that the Japanese government were controlling. Japan colonized the Korean. We call North Korea and South Korea today. But as the Second World War was climaxing, within a month, the Japan government surrendered, unconditional surrender. They surrendered to America. They said, we're done. Yoruba, we ended the Biafra War. In case you don't know, guys, we ended the Biafra War. Simple policy. Economic blockade. We Yoruba were sending food to this horrible Igbo who hate us so much. During the war, Fulani killed them. We were sending food to them. They still hated us. And we asked them, stop the war. Let us go back to regional government. They say we have the power. So we stopped sending food to them. Under 3 months, they surrendered. And these are the people that say, holy, now become it's another thing. They sing war song. They will tell you about, we're going to kill you if you talk. People that we ordinary economic blockade, we defeated you with ordinary single policy, without firing one single gunshot. We messed your life up. You think we are not going to destroy you in Yoruba land with the proceeds of crime that we've used to buy up our properties? Our old generation was very kind to you. My generation, would you show my buying down on me? Within a month, the Japanese surrendered unconditionally. And when they surrendered, Korea was divided along the 38 parallel lines into 2 spheres of influence. The South was administered by America and the North by the United States. And I'm saying to the Yoruba women, this Korea was one nation before, but it was being controlled by the Japanese people as their colony. But during the end of, or at the end of the Second World War in 1945, Japan surrendered. So America and Russia took advantage of that. So the southern part of Korea goes to America, and it is being administered up to today. The northern part goes to Russia. It is still being supported by Russia today. The fallout from the 38th parallel is a political and socio-economic distinction we see today between the 2 Koreans. One is pro-America, the other is anti-America. The living standard of South Korea today is similar to that you see in America, you see all across Europe. Their healthcare is a standard, their institutional democracy, education, property, security, these are what separate the South Korea from the North Korea today. But this did not exist before. They were one nation. The same way Nigeria is one country today, in which some of you stupid Yoruba women are having sex, getting married to Igbo men. You think Nigeria will remain the way it is? Think about the 38th parallel line. If Korea can divide into 2, Nigeria can easily divide. We, the Yoruba, we want good relationship with the United States of America. As a matter of fact, we want America to have a military base in Yoruba land. There is an American military base in Germany. They have one in Israel. They have in Poland. in Greece, they have in 138 countries. That does not mean that America is controlling them or America is colonizing them. No. Military support is a guarantee from the United States that if anybody threatens you, I will be there for you. It is not cheap. We're going to pay them 10% of our wealth. It is better than for us to continue with this unitary system that is making our women to be poor, miserable, wretched, and they are not taken into prostitution because Fulani controls 100% of our wealth. In return, what we call monthly allocation, we got 8% back every month. No, we would rather give 10% of our wealth to America so we keep 90%. Currently, Fulani are controlling 92% of our wealth. They return only 8% to us. It is ridiculous. So, Yoruba women, the idea that Nigeria as a country will last forever is a rude joke. In this decade, Nigeria is likely to break. The only saving grace is for a full-blooded Yoruba citizen, someone like Tinubu, to be made president of Nigeria from 2023. Then we'll now go back to regional government. So the Yoruba will control every wealth in Yoruba land. Igbo will control all the wealth in Igbo land. Hausa Fulani will control all the wealth in Hausa Fulani land. Kanuri people will control all the wealth in their space. The people in Middle Belt will control all the wealth in their space. And the people in the South will control all the wealth in their space. All of us will then contribute 10% of our wealth to Abuja to run the federal government of Nigeria. Currently, what we do is unity system. Whoever is the president of Nigeria controls all the wealth in Yoruba land. He controls the wealth in Igbo land. He controls the wealth in South. He controls the wealth in Middle Belt. He controls the wealth in Kanuri land. He controls the wealth in Hausa Fulani land. That's why we are always killing ourselves to become president of Nigeria. So because the president of Nigeria controls the wealth across Nigeria, Igbo are desperate to be president. Fulani are desperate to be president. Yoruba are desperate to be president. That's why we're killing ourselves. But when we have Tinubu as a president, he returns Nigeria back to regional government. You will want to be prime minister. That's why I'm always telling you, when the time comes, I want you to vote for me. I want to be prime minister of the Yoruba region or prime minister of Oduduwa Republic. No, you see, why we know what we're doing. We're not emotional. We're very logical. So the solution to Nigeria is a return back to regional government. We can't continue with this useless 36-state structure that is making Yoruba best brain to be living abroad. Why am I living in England with all the brain power that I've acquired? Why are you living in North America with your PhD? It is because of the unity system. So folks, we have to end this unity system. 54 years ago, this guy came to destroy our life. Abu Yoros. So Igbo people, they are committed to destroying Yoruba land. They use intermarriages as a weapon to dominate us. We know this, and we are going to end this stupidity. This is why I'm going to now go to something we call interpersonal relationship. And I will not bore you with political philosophy of individuals versus state. Somebody sent me a statement yesterday. Oh, I think I've deleted that statement. But it was something that I can quickly look up because I will want to give you the exact wording. The exact wording of what the guy stated clearly. Oh, this is now messing up now. I'll give you exact thing that he stated. So sorry, guys. I thought I had it already. So Igbo are the enemy of the South. I don't want to mention the name of the guy. You guys will give me the stops I'm looking for. Okay, I got it. I'll give you the name of the guy. Yeah. So that you can go and look at this. His name is Kunle Oguntimehin. Kunle Oguntimehin. It is because of your statement that I'm going to speak about personal relationship and national interest. He says in a post, somebody has made a post saying that he will now propagate and share my videos because I'm saying the truth that he didn't know all of this before. And then this guy responded, Kunle Oguntimehin, he said, honestly, I will not go down Adeyinka lane with you. I respect both of you despite not agreeing with all of your utterances. I respect your wishes. Then he goes on. He said, I wonder what my nephews, whose father is Igbo, but mother, my own sister, would think of me. Nevertheless, I am woman first before my tribe. The guy is an idiot anyway. He says he's woman first before his tribe. Obviously, he's a Yoruba guy, but Yoruba is not a tribe. Yoruba is an ethnic group. But he was more interested in his personal relationship than the group interest. Because he's Yoruba, he has a sister married to an Igbo man, and they have children. Because of that, he would rather destroy the entire Yoruba nation for his personal interest. That makes him an horrible individual. You agree with me? Folks, don't let us pretend about this. In any society, there is always a natural tension between the interests of individuals and the interests of the group as a whole. I'm a Yoruba person. If I love an Igbo girl, I would like to protect her interests. That becomes a personal interest. Now, because Igbo have deep-seated hatred for the Yoruba, they come into our space to commit crime. They come into our space to do all manners of horrible things, and they don't even vote for our political interests. This now becomes a national problem that needs to be addressed by the Yoruba political leadership. How do I protect the interests of an Igbo girl that is my girlfriend, for instance, at the expense of the larger interests of the Yoruba nation to stop the atrocity of the Igbo? If I support that the Yoruba nation should ignore the criminality of the Igbo, that is, I'm thinking about my own personal interest that will destroy the entire Yoruba nation. That makes me a horrible person. That makes me a stupid person. Believe me. So, Oguntimehin, Kunle, you deserve a bullet into your brain because your intention is to destroy a group interest. But before people agree with me, whether you deserve to be shot at close range or not, we need to understand one thing about group interest. What is needed is the welfare, safety, and security of the entire group. Yoruba is a group. We must look at the welfare of the Yoruba nation, the security of the Yoruba nation, and the safety of the Yoruba nation whenever we come to make a decision. So because you have Igbo nephew, or because your sister is married to an Igbo man, that is your personal interest. It is different from the group interest. You have to look at the welfare, safety, and security of the Yoruba as a group. That is why we need government to moderate the conflicts. I told you in the beginning, there is always a natural conflict between individual interests and group interests. So that's why you need government to moderate this conflict. So, depending on the government in power, the conflict will be resolved in favor of one or the other group. I hope people are getting me. So, you see, as an economist, I do one thing. This is what I was taught in university. Make things extremely easy for people to understand. Very elementary. In a society, there is a natural conflict between individuals' interests and group interests. The individual interest is the example of the Yoruba that are married to Igbo. They would like to naturally protect the interests of their own. But we need to look at the larger picture, the group interest, to protect the welfare of the Yoruba nation, the safety and security of the Yoruba nation. That is why government is necessary to moderate this interest. However you look at it, whenever there is individual interest and group interest, there will always be one thing. One will be in favor of other. You're disturbing me. One will be in the favor of others. So the conflict will be resolved in favor of one group to the other. So I said to you, because of the natural conflict between the individual interest and group interest, that's why you need government. And then the kind of government you put in power will decide where the groups that will win. I hope you're getting this, folks. If you put PDP in power in Yoruba land, because majority of the PDP leaders are married to Igbo women or married to Igbo men, they will take decisions that will favor Igbo in Yoruba land. It's government with it. So if you put APC people in government in Yoruba land, because the majority of them are married to Yoruba people, they will make decisions that favors Yoruba land. What I'm telling you is called political philosophy. It was propounded by Plato in what he called ideal model. So if you think politics is not necessary, if you think election is not important to you, you are going to destroy the future of your children. So if you are Yoruba, full-blooded Yoruba, it pays you to vote for the APC Yoruba because the majority of their leaders are married to Yoruba people. They will take decisions that protect the collective goods of the Yoruba nation. If you are full-blooded Yoruba citizen and you go about to vote for PDP, you jeopardize the collective good of the Yoruba nation because the majority of the PDP leaders are married to Igbo people. That's why they take stupid decisions. It is deliberate. That's why politics is extremely important. You say that I do not belong to any political party. You are horrible. You will destroy the life of your children. Look at all the people on social media who pretended to be Yoruba. They will abuse Yoruba for Igbo. Majority of them are Igbo people. So they use intermarriages to infiltrate into Yoruba leadership. They then have children, that is to populate Yoruba land in order to dominate you. I'm a full-blooded Yoruba citizen. I want my children's life to be protected in Yoruba land. So I will join APC. I will vote for APC because APC will protect the interests of the larger Yoruba land. That is why Yinka Odumake and Femi Fani-Kayode, they are in PDP today because their wives are not Yoruba. So how about those of us who we are Yoruba and we are married to Yoruba women? Who is going to protect their children if you don't join politics or if you don't vote for a political party? Those who say they don't belong to any political party are Libra. They are pretending. This is what is called political philosophy. Now I'll give you another example that you will see. So we are saying to Kunle Oguntimeni, you are a very stupid man. There are so many African Americans that are married to Caucasian women and Caucasian men. Has that stopped African America being second-class citizens in the United States? No. There are so many Scottish that are married to English. Has that stopped the Scottish from advocating to get out of the UK? No. No. So, Mr. Kunle Oguntimeni, it's a ridiculous assertion because you have a sister who is married to an Igbo, then you have to be neutral in a decision when it comes to the welfare, safety, and security of the Yoruba people as a whole. You deserve a bullet into your brain because you are evil. I live in England. There are so many Yoruba that are married to English. Does that stop the English from arresting you or deporting people or giving you a ridiculous job to do? Let me give you another example about this personal interest and group interest. You see, individual may believe that they have the right to smoke. Yeah, if you are a smoker, you may think that you have the right to smoke. So many people in Yoruba may think that they have the right to smoke, but group or the Yoruba society as a whole has an interest in preserving the health and well-being of everybody in Yoruba land. That's the group interest. If you smoke, we said everybody should be smoking in Yoruba land. You know that there are some adverse effects of smoking. So as an individual, you think it is your right to do anything within your body. But group interest means that if you continue to smoke, our productivities will be reducing. You will have health problems. So you will not be able to build a good hospitals because we need your brain. We will not be able to build good roads because we need your human capital. So in order to protect the group interest, government comes into play and say that you cannot smoke in this environment. You cannot smoke in the office. You cannot smoke in public places. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. And government put a registration that you have to be 18 or 21 years old before you can smoke because government, this group, want to protect the health of its people. You see? So in such a case, you have the PDP that is saying, folks, you can smoke. You can smoke, even you can smoke Igbo. You can snuff cocaine, PDP, all of them, they do it. They do gay. A lot of PDP members in Yoruba land are gay men. Now, if you vote for them, what is the kind of, they will form the government. What is the kind of policy they are going to bring about? That everybody should be gay, everybody should be smoking marijuana, everybody should be doing that. What is going to be the effect? It will affect our productivities. Our society will be going down. It will be going down. So it is government that resolve the natural conflict in every society. There is always individual interest and group interest. Individual interest and group interest. So those who are married to Igbo in Yoruba land, particularly Yoruba women married to Igbo men, they will naturally want to protect the interests of the Igbo in Yoruba land. And if you vote such people into government in Yoruba land, they will destroy the group interests of the Yoruba nation. So if we continue to encourage intermarriages in Yoruba land, believe you me, Yoruba civilization will be destroyed. We live in England. Our children don't have future here because this is not Yoruba land. In Yoruba land already, Igbo are deliberately using intermarriages to infiltrate into the leadership of Yoruba land, to populate Yoruba land with their children in order to dominate us. So when our children comes back from America and from Europe, they get to Yoruba land, they are even third class citizens. In England, my children are 13th class citizens. They come back to Yoruba land, they become third class citizens. Is that what I want? No, because I'm full-blooded Yoruba, I'm conservative, I don't want PDP in power. So that we can chase away the Igbo, so that we can say to our women, you cannot continue with these intermarriages because it's destroying us. I'll give you another example, very interesting. Individuals have interest in preserving their wealth and using this wealth as they see fit. There are some Yoruba conservative. They are the people, they are the proponent of the Oduduwa Republic. They are the proponent of a return to regional government. Not these stupid Yoruba who are in England shouting on Facebook, we want Oduduwa Republic. They are PDP. They don't want Oduduwa Republic because Jonathan lost election in 2015. That was the reason that they are shouting Jonathan regional government or Oduduwa Republic. Tinubu's party, APC, they've been clamoring for a return to regional government since 1967. So I'll give you an example. There are some individuals in Yoruba like us. We want to manage our wealth in Yoruba land. We want to tax our people and use the proceeds of the tax as we see fit. So we are one set of group of people. Do you know there are some other Yoruba who support the unity system? They want the taxes collected in Yoruba land to go to Abuja so that Igbo can take part of it. Hausa Fulani can take part of it. Many of them are in PDP Yoruba because they are married to Igbo. They are married to Hausa Fulani. That is the reason why they want the wealth in Yoruba land to go to Abuja. Who is going to resolve these conflicts? Governments. That is it. I'm telling you the truth. So if you vote PDP, you will never get a return to regional government. You will never get to the Dual Republic. Because the majority of the individuals in PDP, they want the wealth in Yoruba land to be taken to Abuja. They enjoy this 36-state system. PDP were in power for 16 years, 1999 to 2015. Did they give you regional government? No. Did they clamor for the Dual Republic? No. But this is what they are telling you they want now. So if you vote for them, you destroy Yoruba land. But this party, APC Yoruba, they have been clamoring for a return to regional government since 1967. So if you put them in power, they are the only party that will guarantee you a return to regional government or the Dual Republic. And they are moving towards that. They gave you Amotekun. So you see, there is always in a society, there is always a natural conflict between individuals. Yes. And group interests. So anybody that is married to non-Yoruba will naturally want to protect the interests of Igbo. So what do you do in your brain? You do not give them power. So all of these Yoruba liberals, because they are married to Igbo, they want equality or the same right and privileges for Igbo in Yoruba land. What about Yoruba women who are married to Yoruba men? Who is going to protect the interests of their children? So if we conservatives should keep quiet, our civilization will be eroded in our lifetime. Let me give you another example that suits your mind. You see, there are some individuals, they don't like to wear seat belts when they are driving. You know, it is their right. But government comes into play to stop these foolish people and say to them that if you don't wear seatbelt, you're going to be arrested. So the individuals who do not wish to wear seatbelt, they are like the people who are married to Igbo in Yoruba land. They don't care about the success of the Yoruba nation. That is what happened to Kunle Oguntimei. He said, I wonder what my nephews, whose father is Igbo, but mother, my own sister, would think of me. Because our sister, a Yoruba woman, has married an Igbo man. This stupid man thinks that Igbo and Yoruba must have the same right and privileges to everything in Yoruba land. This guy is willing to destroy the Yoruba nation because of his own selfish interests. He deserves a bullet in his brain. He's going to destroy Yoruba land. So if we continue to encourage high rate of intermarriages, Yoruba civilization will be destroyed in our lifetime. People who say, "Oh, I don't see Libra," they tell you, I don't believe in politics. I don't love any political party. Idiot, go and read the philosophy, the political philosophy as propounded by Plato, and you limit your interest into the ideal model. This is why we are different. We conservative, we read a lot. You Libra, you don't read. Stupid people. Because why else support APC? They say, no, we don't support APC, we don't support PDP. You are foolish people. We're not foolish. We don't use emotion, we use logic. So it's very important that we consider group interests. Yoruba land is backward today. Yoruba land, we are Yoruba people, we're the majority in Nigeria. In America, the whites are the majority. That's why they rule over the black. In UK, the English, they are the majority. That's why they rule over the Scottish. But we Yoruba, we are the majority. We can't rule over Igbo minority and Fulani minority. We can't rule over them. Intermarriages is destroying us. That's why a lot of white folks, don't blame people. A lot of white folks don't like white people to be married to black. Because the moment you marry, you are white, you marry to a black man, you will not like to protect group interests any longer. You will want, that's why this guy was shot and killed, the former president of America. Group interest has to be protected. Even animal practices self-preservation. That's why you see that the English press, they don't like Prince Harry's wife, Meghan Markle, because she's got black skin and she's got a black mother. You don't blame them. They are protecting group interests. So this guy who is Kule Oguntimehin, stupid boy, he said, I am human first before my tribe. He's referring to Yoruba as a tribe. He said he's a woman first. Idiot, I live in England. Do they see me as human being first? They see me the way I am. I'm Yoruba first and foremost to them. So in England, I cannot enjoy the same rights and privileges as their own citizen. Stupid Yoruba man, he said he's woman first and foremost. Go to Russia and say, I'm woman first and foremost as a Yoruba man. I want to be president of Russia. They will not put you in prison. They'll kill you. Stupid people. I'm woman first and foremost. Go to America and say that to the Caucasian, that you are woman first and foremost. Idiot. I live in England. Nobody's do that stupidity. It's what liberalism has brought about. It's what intermarriages is causing. People are losing their sense of thinking. Yoruba land, God Almighty wasn't high on opium. He created you, Yoruba, and he put you in a defined territory. He wants you to make that land great. He put Igbo in a defined territory. He wants them to use their intellect and make Igbo land great. So why must Igbo have the same rights and privileges as Yoruba and Yoruba land? Because you are having sex with an Igbo man. Stupid people. So many Yoruba are married to English. Does that stop the English from treating us the way they see fit? So, folks, when people have married other races, other group, they tend to lose their sense of reason. Not every one of them. Not every one of them. There are people who still understand the nature of life. So what I'm telling you now about these intermarriages is that it's a policy of the Igbo to destroy Yoruba land. They are deliberately marrying our Yoruba women in order for them to dominate us. Now that we realize this is the truth, we stop them. And that is why we're warning Yoruba women. You will jeopardize the future and prospect of your children that has been fathered by Igbo men. They will not amount to anything in Yoruba land because we know that these people want to destroy us. So we will be pushing for a campaign. We will identify individuals with Yoruba mothers and Igbo fathers, and they will be governors in Igbo land from 2023. That is what we are going to push. They will represent the Yoruba there. We are going to control you, Igbo. So if you, Igbo, will not vote for them, I wonder how you think that you can have the same right and privileges as Yoruba people in Yoruba land. It is insulting to have 6 Igbo in Ondo State House of Assembly when Yoruba cannot be anything in their own space. So you see, this intermarriages is destroying Yoruba land. That was why in 1966, Igbo military men killed Yoruba leaders. We couldn't group together as Yoruba people to revenge. But they did the same thing to Hausa Fulani. Because Hausa Fulani have reduced intermarriages, they kill Igbo back. Now you call meeting of Yoruba leaders, 100 topmost 100 Yoruba political figures in Yoruba land. Name them, you will see that almost 30 of them are married to non-Yoruba, and the rest are married to Yoruba. So you call a meeting, the 30 that are married to non-Yoruba will never allow us to speak with one voice. But if you call 100 Fulani leaders to a meeting, hardly will you see one that is married to non-Fulani. That is the reason why they can sit in at a meeting and say, we are going to deal with Igbo, and they will all agree. We're going to deal with Yoruba, and they will all agree. But you call a meeting of such with Yoruba political leader, when you are saying to them that we need to stop the influx of the Igbo because they are coming into Yoruba land to commit all manners of nefarious crime, the Yoruba leaders who are married to Igbo will say, no, no, you can't do that. There's free movement. We are humanity first. They destroy us. So that is why we have to stop intermarriages. We have to stop it, folks. Now, let me quickly say this before I move on to something I consider very important. Igbo, you know, yesterday I spoke about the 5 strategies that you are using Now we have to compare notes with APC stalwarts. Now we don't have to pretend we work with APC. We support the party. Yeah, we don't like PDP because they are liberal. Majority of their leaders are non-Yoruba, pretending to be Yoruba, and I can't jeopardize the future of my children. If English will not allow me to live freely in their country with no restriction, why should I allow anybody to do likewise in Yoruba land and take my space away from my children? So my children will not have a homeland. No. So yesterday I spoke about the 5 strategies you use. You control the trading and service economy in Yoruba land. You are engaging in Igbo Yoruba intermarriages. You use the intermarriages alliance to infiltrate the seat of leadership in Yoruba land. These are, well, the APC knows about this. You bribe the traditional leaders and politicians to have a foothold on them. The APC knows about it. They know, they're monitoring PDP because we're going to Ibon Lama Kolosile on PDP. Yeah. Gbogbo àwọn PDP tó máa ń bú Yorùbá tó bá ti fẹ́ jẹ president tó bá ti fẹ́ ṣe wọ́n máa kó bọ̀n lọ. Wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé Libra ni wọ́n lè ti mọ̀ pé wọ́n lẹ́jẹ̀ Igbo nú o. Wọ́n máa kó bọ̀n lọ sí wọn lọ pa ọmọ dànù ni. Ó ti ẹ̀ mọ̀ pé géèmù yẹn ti ṣe ìnáwó lọ́wọ́ generation ló rò pé àṣẹ we are wasting churches. We believe in his philosophy. You defend your homeland. And number 5, you see, there are other clandestine activities that you do. Now, we narrow it down to 3. Now, I raised that yesterday. We narrow it down to 3. And this is what we're going to continue to push subsequently. Now, I'm only going to do 5 days because I need to prepare for my appearance at the Westminster Magistrate Court because I'm challenging the police who say that my videos are inflammatory. They identify 4 videos that are inflammatory. Otherwise, if not for that, we will go for like 10 days, even 20 days, because this is a very important topic. Sexual assault is very important. So, folks, thank you for loving and life. So, Igbo, this is the strategy you are using to destroy Yoruba land. You use intermarriages to infiltrate into the Yoruba leadership, number 1. You use intermarriages to populate yourself into Yoruba land, number 2. You are using intermarriages to dominate Yoruba land. Now, this is the solution. A number of Yoruba women that are already married to you, Igbo men, they are going to walk out of that marriages. Even though I do not support divorce, I don't like it. But this is war. You want to suppress us as a people. You want to destroy us. Moremi stood the test of time for the Yoruba nation. The Yoruba women who have mistakenly married you, many of them will walk out of these marriages because you are evil, Igbo people. You are evil, and you will pay for that evil that you've done. Now, let me remind Yoruba women who are married to Igbo men. You must have heard about this saying, oh, good of Ejebu, a Yoruba mother or a Yoruba father will be warning their child not to marry another Yoruba tribe. Oh, good of Ejebu. So many Ekiti people will say that. So many Ijebu will say, oh, good of Ondo, Ekiti, Ijebu, Ondo, they are one and the same Yoruba people. Yet, we warn ourselves not to go and marry from those areas. How much more horrible Igbos that have deep-seated hatred for the Yoruba nation. So we are warning Yoruba women, do not marry Igbo men. If you do, you jeopardize the future of your children. There's something that is very worrying for me. You will see Yoruba PDP members. They will tell you, Tinubu, Omo Ragbiji, Owan control Eko. I hear on PDP Yoruba ti bàjẹ́ o. And these same people, they will give tickets to Igbo to go and contest election in Lagos State. And they say that Tinubu is from Iragbiji. He cannot contest for election. He cannot be Lagos Godfather. And they want Igbo people to win election. This is what intermarriages has reduced Yoruba nation to. If we do not stop it now, and it's stopping, they will destroy the civilization that we hold there. They will destroy. Let me round this up with this that an Igbo sent to me yesterday. And Yoruba have sent this to me before. The Igbo guy wrote to me, said, Tinubu will fail in 2023 election because of your attitude and mindset against him. This is an Igbo saying that to me, saying that because of my attitude, they will not vote for Tinubu in 2023. Igbo, you have never voted for Yoruba before. But I will tell you one thing, believe me, you will vote for Tinubu 2023. Because before 2023, we're going to blow a lot of your market in Lagos. Before 2023. And I will tell you today, you never voted for Yoruba before. We have had 11 federal elections, 1959, you voted for Balewa, Fulani. 1964, you voted for Balewa, a Fulani. 1979, you voted for Shagari, a Fulani. 1983, you Igbo voted Shagari again, a Fulani. 1993, you Igbo voted Tofa, a Fulani. 1999, you voted Obasanjo, an Igbo. 2003, you repeated that again, you voted for Obasanjo. 2007, you voted for Yaradua, a Fulani. 2011, you voted for Jonathan. 2015, you voted for Jonathan again. 2019, you voted Atiku, a Fulani. So the idea that what I'm doing will make you not to vote for Tinubu is irrelevant. You have never voted for Yoruba before. But let me answer that question, what you have said, you Igbo guy. One thing I will say to Yoruba women too, it doesn't matter what you do for the Igbo as Yoruba people. They hate you. And it is because we have not chased them out of Yoruba land. That's why they have that boldness to hate us. And I've said to the leaders, this is the start. When we attack the Igbo, boom, they will shout to the international community. Oh, we've been killed. I've been saying to you many times, many months ago, that we are reading American Constitution, particularly the area that protected the interests of Native Americans. I said to the leaders that when we shut down their market, they will shout to the international community. We have a response. Then we shut it down again. They will start pressing the Yoruba, saying Yoruba are good people. Yoruba are wonderful people. They are the most accommodating in Nigeria. If we drop our guard at that point, they finish us, the Igbo. Then again, we hit them for the third time. They will then leave. That is the style we're going to do for you. And why are we going to do that style for you? It doesn't matter how much Yoruba have been good to you, Igbo. You never voted for a Yoruba man unless such an individual is an Igbo or Fulani stooge. Awolowo saved you from dying unnecessarily and ended the civil war quickly with a single policy. Folks, and particularly to Yoruba women, when the horrible Igbo, they declared the war after they killed Yoruba leaders and Hausa Fulani leaders, they ran back to their space and declared war. Yoruba, in our foolishness, we were sending food to them. You see how foolish you are? You will help these people, they destroy you more. That is how parasites behave. You give them, they destroy you. Igbo have always been killed since 1949 by Hausa Fulani. That's why Igbo respect Hausa Fulani. They always queue behind them in every election. Hausa Fulani will say to them, if you don't vote for us, we're going to kill all Igbo in the north. Igbo will go and queue. You know what we're going to say to you? We're not going to wait for 2023 before you vote for Yoruba. We will start destroying you now. So you will leave Yoruba land so that the Hausa Fulani you are likely to vote for in 2023 will not get 25% of the vote in Yoruba land. And when you get to your space, you start killing yourself. That is when you will appreciate what the Yoruba have done for you. You then vote for us. We're taking power. I will all save them from unnecessary death during the Biafra war. We were giving them food. Then we realized that these people are unreasonable. We stopped the food production we were giving to them. We introduced economic blockade. After 3 months, they surrender. After they surrender, Obafemi Awolowo gave every single soul in Igbo land, he gave them 20 pounds. As of that time, throughout the whole of Nigeria, less than 5% of the population of Nigeria has a bank account. Awolowo ensured that every living Igbo citizen was offered 20 pounds to stay alive. Awolowo supervised the reconstruction of the damages that was done in Igbo land. He supervised this for them. He gave them their asset back in Yoruba land. All Igbo buildings and properties in Hausa Fulani North, Kanuri North, Ninibu Bed were seized by the people there. All the Igbo properties in what is today called South South They did not return them back to the Igbo. They seized them. But every single properties of the Igbo in Yoruba land, we return them back to these horrible, criminally minded people. And Awolowo made that possible. Awolowo paid back the backlog of rent on Igbo properties in Yoruba land. Awolowo was the one who called them back to Yoruba land and absorbed them into our political and economic mystery. After the war, the Hausa Fulani said they must not come back to the north. Awolowo said they should come back to Yoruba land. Awolowo then appointed an Igbo man as its vice presidential candidate. With every single thing Awolowo did for these horrible criminals we call Igbo, they rejected him 3 times during the election. They did not vote for him 3 times. 1959, 1979, and 1983. They voted Hausa Fulani. This is the greatest mistake the Yoruba of our generation made. People who have deep-seated hatred for you, you don't love them back. Look at how the English and America dealt with Gaddafi. Gaddafi apologized for his atrocity against them, but they still went after him and killed him, removed him from power. That is how you do to your enemies. You don't pity people who have hatred for you. You do that, you will be destroyed. I can give you a personal example. The very first time my ex-wife called police on me, I ignored her. She called police on me the second time, I ignored her. The third time, I had a confrontation with the police. When she called police on me the third time, I had a confrontation with the police to the extent police broke my eye socket, fractured my lower limbs, and dumped me in prison because I've ignored her twice. After that, she called police on me now 8 times in total. She calls police on me every time. Because before, I used to ignore her. People who hate you, who want to destroy you, you ignore them, they will destroy you. That is the philosophy of life. That is philosophy of life. A woman is calling police on you every now and then, you continue to ignore her, she will kill you. What our Lord did to our Igbo was completely wrong. In spite of everything this man did for them, he even appointed one of them as his vice presidential candidate. They voted against him. You don't embrace, you don't condone people who hate you. You destroy them. That is it. You finish them off. That is when they will respect you. Let's give you another example of the Igbo shit they've done to the Yoruba. Abiola MKO. He spent his own personal money doing charities across Nigeria. He was giving people money, providing roads, even sometimes building hospitals, giving scholarship to people across the entire length and breadth of Nigeria. When he wanted to contest for election, Igbo voted against him. People who hate you, you embrace them, they will kill you. They will kill you. My ex-wife started making allegations of assault, trespassing, harassment against me. She concluded it with terrorism. Terrorism. Somebody that has children for me. When people do evil to you, you condone them, they destroy you. She committed adultery. I didn't say this in public, never, until she called terrorism against me. And many people don't know until I have released the statement. They released my divorce paper. I filed for divorce against her in 2012. I just moved on because she committed adultery. I just moved on with my life. I just forget about the money I wasted on her. I moved on. That's why Yoruba say, that's why she called terrorism on me. I keep ignoring her. She goes to police. Oh, he's harassing me. I keep ignoring her. If I have not been rescued by CIA, I'll be in prison now. You're enjoying me listening to my video. It's the CIA who claimed me, saying that I don't do terrorism. That was why the Scotland Yard dropped the allegation of terrorism. Although I stood my time, I also defended myself honorably. So somebody that could call terrorism on the father of her children, she can kill me easily because I've been condoning her. Ignore her, move on with my life. Police will come to my house. When I'm sleeping, they'll come and arrest me. I keep ignoring her. I should have hit her and her family in the beginning, big time. She will not think twice to call police on me again. People who do evil towards you, you condone them, they finish you. That was why Igbo did not vote for Abiola. What are they doing to Tinubu now? Let me tell you this. You don't know. I'll tell you. I wanted to respond to that Igbo man who sent me that message, but I decided to turn it into this campaign. Tinubu has invested heavily into the political capital as a successful senator, lawmaker, a successful governor, an administrator, a national political leader, a successful business mogul. In all of this, Tinubu was the first to appoint Igbo as commissioners in Yoruba land. That is the record. He appointed Igbo as commissioner in his cabinet. Yet, who are the people propagating evil against him now? Who are the people calling him corrupt? Who are the people who are saying that they are not going to vote for him? Who are the people spreading propaganda against him? Igbo. If you identify your enemy, you don't finish them off. You don't deal with them at the appropriate time, they will destroy you. They will finish you completely. It takes the grace of Olodumare that I survived the allegation of terrorism. Okoyemi and her family expected me to be locked up in prison. When you make allegation of terrorism against somebody and the first thing is they do, they have the law. They just dump the person in prison for some months before they finish investigation. It's a serious allegation. So it's a disgrace that the Yoruba nation have endured our auntie, the owner of Mega Chicken, because she took money from Fulani to compromise my security. We gave you the findings, we gave you the evidence. But it's a disgrace that you have not done anything, that she's still operating a stupid Mega Chicken in Lagos. People who wanted to kill me, but you said, oh, I've done so much for the Yoruba nation. If they have succeeded, I'll be in prison or be dead now. That is what they wanted. That's what Okoyemi and her family wanted for me. That's why she's hiding the identity of her partner, because the guy is involved too. The auntie, Adenike Ayenoyo, she's the managing director of Mega Chicken. She's submitted document that the federal government of Nigeria is looking for me. She said that I'm a terrorist too, but she's still operating a Mega Chicken up to now. So how do you think I feel? When you do so much for a nation, you don't know how to protect the interests of somebody that can risk his life. It's a disgrace on the Yoruba nation. That's why we say that you are an illiterate society. If I happen to be a Caucasian man, people will be calling me to be president of America. If I happen to be an English guy and I'm defending England, the way I've been defending Yoruba, people who have made me the prime minister. Yoruba, you don't like people with brilliant minds. You don't protect your own. That's why Igbo are condemning Tinubu today, that the Yoruba liberals are supporting. Look, if I amount to anything, I'm going to give credit to the CIA. If they request anything from me, I'm going to give them, because they saved my ass from this allegation of terrorism. And the support I got from the conservative Yoruba people. That's why you can see me. People who identify to destroy you, you don't embrace them. You destroy them too, because they are going to destroy you. Tinubu is the first person to appoint Igbo as commissioner in Yoruba land. They are calling him horrible name today. Tinubu never ruled them for one day. Look at how much Awolowo did for them. Look at what Abiola did for them. Why do you think that Igbo are afraid of me? Because I'm the only one who has openly called for their extermination across Yoruba land. They are very fearful of me and they respect me. They used to write horrible things about me before. They dare not. They will pay heavy price. They hate us too much. They want to destroy our civilization. They want to destroy the future of our descendants. You don't embrace such people. You deal with them squarely. They're trooping into Yoruba land. We did some vehicular movement research many years ago. These Chiki de Lechuku buses that they drive all about, over 500 every day travel from Igbo land into Yoruba land every day. Only 30 of such return back to Igbo land every day. They are trooping into your space. They disparage your others. They condemn your political leader. They said that they will never vote for you to be president of Nigeria, and you continue to allow them peace of mind in your space. And they are raping your women. You continue to allow them to thrive in your space. They have three strategies they are using to destroy the Yoruba nation. They are using intermarriages to infiltrate into the leadership of the Yoruba nation, to populate their people and then dominate you. And you don't want me to protect my full-blooded Yoruba children. Right? And you don't want to protect your own children because you are in America. Your children can never have the same rights and privileges as a Caucasian child. My children will never have the same rights and privileges as an English child because they are not English. With everything that Tinubu has done for them, appointing them into his government. Look at what they're doing. But I assure the APC one thing, if they will do what is right, we have to shut down Igbo markets across Yoruba land. Just blow them up. That's what we're going to do. It's Yoruba land. We're not blowing up anything in Igbo land. We're not blowing up anything in Hausa Fulani land. It is our land. We don't want you anymore. We don't want you. Folks, we're talking about sexual politics. We're talking about sexual politics. And to the Yoruba liberals who says that, oh, Tinubu cannot win it without Igbo votes. Oh, Tinubu cannot win it without Hausa Fulani vote. It is because you guys don't read. My mother used to say to me when I was young in my secondary school, I started reading Awolowo's book. But then we don't have electricity, so I will have to use candle. My mom would open my room door and said to me, go back with you, you are happy. And I asked her why. She said, you are happy. Because they know a lot. And this will bother them. And she was right. I am not happy that so many brilliant Yoruba are scattered all over the world, living a miserable life because of the unity system that was suspended exactly 54 years ago today. I am not happy to see Yoruba women engage in prostitution because of unity system. You cannot even get a very good and decent Yoruba woman any longer because of unity system. I'm not happy to see poverty all across Yoruba land because of unity system. Look at the state of our healthcare. Look at the state of our universities. Look at the state of our road. We cannot even walk in our own space. I am not happy. And the Young Yoruba for Freedom and all our members across the world, we are not happy. That is why we believe in organized violence as the only solution to bring about sanity into our brain. So those of you who say to us, Igbo and Fulani vote matters, it is because you don't read. Look at the election of 1959 that was conducted by Obasanjo, a half Igbo, half Yoruba man. Awolowo got 5 million votes. What was the vote of Shagari? 5.4 million. Go and check the result out. It's on the internet. We speak the truth. Shagari was voted for by all the Igbo. Shagari was voted for by all the Hausa Fulani, yet he only secured 5.4 million votes. But that election was rigged by the Fulani and the Igbo in their respective space. If that election had not been rigged, Awolowo would have won that election. Who voted for Awolowo in 1979? Kanuri people. The people we call Middle Belts today. The South people and the Yoruba people. I'm saying to Yoruba women, you think that Igbo are our next door neighbor or Igbo are our ally? Igbo in Nigeria are Yoruba number one enemy. Any Yoruba woman who marries an Igbo man is an idiot. You are cheap, useless, and irresponsible. Igbo are not our friends. Why? Check the result. I'm challenging young Yoruba to supply the result of 1979 federal election between Awolowo and Shagari. Shagari was a Fulani man. Awolowo was a Yoruba man. Awolowo got 5 million votes. Shagari got 5.4 million votes. The entire Igbo and Fulani voted for Shagari, but we secured the vote of the Kanuri people. We secured the vote of the people of the Middle Belt. We secured the vote of the people you call South today and the Yoruba vote. We won that election, but our Obasanjo conducted that election in his book. Let me remember the title. I can't remember the title of our Obasanjo's book. He wrote in that book, and he stated that even before he wrote that book, that the best man for the job will not win the election. Obasanjo rigged out Awolowo. Awolowo won resoundingly in spite of the fact that the Igbo and Fulani did not vote for him. We're not expecting Fulani to vote for Tinubu in 2023. We don't expect Igbo to vote for Tinubu in 2023. The only condition the Igbo will vote for Tinubu in 2023 is if we shut down their market across Yoruba. So those of you Libras saying shit, it is because you have no knowledge of the past. You don't even understand the current phenomena around you, even around the world. You're saying that Igbo are necessary. No. Our best ally remains the Kanuri people. They give us 100% of their support. Kanuri people don't like Hausa Fulani. Our best allies are the people in the Middle Belt. Go and read about how the Bogun people help us to defeat the Fulani. These people have always voted for a Yoruba citizen. If not for the shenanigan of Jonathan, the Ijaw people will not be antagonizing the Yoruba nation. They have always keyed into the fact that only Yoruba, president of Nigeria, will bring about justice. These people are our friends. So we won the 1979 election. It was rigged. Obasanjo. That was why we went to court. This stupid man called Richard Akindele, he was the one who came up with the concept of 12-2-3. And I'm asking people that are watching me, is it possible for a half human being to vote in an election? They're talking about 12-2-3. It's not possible. Awolowo won that election. They were scared. We were calling for a rerun between Awolowo and Shagari. Obasanjo was scared. He said no. That was why they rigged the election at the polling booth, and they rigged the election during the tribunal. They said that a half human being can actually vote. We've read all of this. That's why we conservative are better than Libra. We know so much. That's why we believe that we're going to go to war. We will go to war. We can no longer, I don't want to sit down in England any longer. I don't like the way the police have treated me. I don't want my children to live in England anymore. That is the honest truth as a father. And I said to the police that what they've done to me, they are building hatred in me towards English national who lives in Lagos. But I won't be able to go back to Nigeria if Fulani are in power. I want Tinubu as president, so that Yoruba can come home. We can have regional government. We can be free. I can see my friends. I can see my relatives. I can see my extended family. I can be happy. I can go and live in a village, build a very beautiful house there, plants, see animals, look at waters. I'm living shit life here in a box house. I want to be free. So many Yoruba would like to be free. We have the wealth. Under unity system, they're stealing it. So those of you thinking that we need the Igbo or the Fulani to win election, you don't know the game. We don't need these people to win election. We need the Kanuri people. We need the people in the Middle Belt. We need the people in the South, and we need the Yoruba vote. We will rule this country. And the people in Kanuri, they know that it is only Yoruba that can give them a devolved government. So these Boko Haram guys, I actually like them. So they can be in the military in Kanuri land and rule that space. They have shown strength of determination that they are not going to give up. So the people in the Middle Belt can rule themselves, have their own police, have their own military. Fulani herdsmen will not overrun them under this unitary system again. So the South people can control their crude oil. They know only a Yoruba will do that to them. So we are going to win that election in 2023. And let me tell you what happened in 1993. Abiola versus Tofa. Abiola won the election. He lost in Igbo land, he lost in Hausa Fulani land, but he was declared winner. He won in Kanuri land, he won in Middle Belt, he won in South South, he won in Yoruba land. So those horrible Libra saying that we need the Igbo, we need the Fulani to win election, it's all gimmick. It is not like that. We have won it twice before without Igbo and Fulani. For the third time in 2023, the Yoruba nation will win this election. And we will win it for the greater good of the Yoruba nation. We will win it to protect the interests of our descendants. We will win the election in 2023 to secure the future for the Kanuri people who have always been asking for a return to regional government. We will win the election in 2023 so that the people in the Middle Belt can control and protect their home people. They can control their home police, they can control their home military, and they can chase away the Fulani who have always been killing them. We are going to win the election in 2023 so that the people in the South will control their kudo. They will control their resources. This is what we are going to offer to the people in 2023. And the only man for that job, he's been doing it from when he was younger. And that man is Tinubu. That is why the liberal and the evil have continued to use propaganda to destroy this man. And we need the support of the Yoruba women. We know the problem you face with. You help us to close this deal. I thank you, everybody. And I'm going to see you tomorrow. Cheers.